Hello guys, and welcome to Parked on the Edge. My name's Phil and I'm doing a follow-up video of the video I did yesterday. Men have it tougher than women. Prove me wrong, but with some more stats this time, because I did that video a little bit blind, if I'm honest. I didn't really look into many statistics or anything like that, so I'm going to back it up by a little bit of data. And I need to start off by saying this isn't digging women out or anything like that. It's not about that. This is about I'm on about men from my point of view. I've come to a nice place. You can see the canal in the background. It's all frozen. It looks really nice. I thought I'd come to a nice tranquil place, no cars. You can see down here we got some water flowing and stuff like that. So I'm just gonna walk down this canal side here. Any of you guys that have been watching the news recently, this is actually directly at the back of do you remember the hospital that the Afghan male had gone in and he's hurt a few nurses and people. That's actually literally right there. I'm right at the back of that, so that's been on the news a lot recently. And that's actually my doctor's as well, where I go, where my mum goes. Luckily, none of us were there that day. But anyway, yeah, you're gonna have to forgive me because I'm just gonna have to pull ChatGPT out of my pocket here, and I'm just gonna read off a little bit of information regarding some of the stuff that we mentioned yesterday. The male suicide rate, and I'm going to stick with this country statistics. So we've got, basically, you are 4 times more likely to commit suicide in this country if you're a man. That's fact. These figures are there, they're published, and it's not in question. So yeah, why is that? Why are we 4 times more likely? And that age group, by the way, is from 45 to 55. We are the most at risk of suicide. So there's 15 men every day in the UK that are committing suicide. 15 men, 15 good men every day are committing suicide. I don't think that this is just a number issue. What is going on? Why are we being exposed to more stress? Are we, is it tied up with life stress, cultural expectations? Is social media having an impact on any of this? If this is hitting close to home, there's nothing to stop you going, having a chat with someone, or if you've got a mate and he's been behaving differently recently and you think, you know what, I'm just going to give him a call, ask him how he's doing. You've not got to go too deep with it. Give him a ring, ask him how he's doing. Or if you were the bloke that's feeling this, maybe you're at home, you've got a wife, you've got a couple of kids, you're meant to be the strong one, and if they see you buckling, the whole family will buckle, in your head, that thinking is, by the way, because I'm pretty sure that if you did actually open up maybe to your partner about it, I'm pretty sure that things would start getting put into place for recovery. I've spoke to a few people in my time who have been struggling with suicidal thoughts, struggling after breakups, can't get their heads in a good space, to move forward. That can manifest itself in multiple things. Some might do drugs, some might drink alcohol, some might turn to gambling. Ultimately, I think these are sideshows, these are distractions to what they're actually going through. I've actually, in my early 20s, I actually found a man that had committed suicide. He was very close to home. Like my sixth sense knew something was wrong. Saw his kids at the end of the day. They were sat waiting to get into the house. Normally the guy was there every day waiting for his kids. He'd, on the doorstep, he'd sit there every day religiously, wait for them. He wasn't there this day, and immediately, even at a young age, I knew something was terribly wrong. I actually asked one of his children to jump through the window and come and open the door straight away. Don't go into any other rooms, because I knew there was just something in me that knew something was wrong. And I remember him coming, I walked in, I opened the living room door, and he's lay flat on the floor, bottle of milk, empty carton of milk next to him, and a note. And I didn't know what to do. Sorry for the sun. I didn't know what to do. I literally got on the floor and started slapping him around the face, saying, "What have you done? What have you done?" You know, I knew that there was a nurse over the road, so I literally just shouted to the oldest child, "Go and get Lynn." Sorry, I shouldn't mention names. I'll cut that out. Go and get the lady from over the road. I'm not going to name names. And she came over, and she was a calm head, and she took over from there. Ambulances were called. She did, the resuscitation and all that, and the guy survived. And I remember a couple of days later when he got out of hospital, him coming up to me, he was saying he was really sorry for what he'd put me through, and I wasn't bothered about that. I was more bothered about him. But yeah, he apologised, it's never going to happen again, I've got a second chance and stuff like that. And then it was literally 7 days later. I remember being at work, and I remember I was in Middlewich, and I remember it being around midday, and my mum ringing me, and she was, clearly upset when she'd rang me. And then she just mentioned the guy's name, and she literally said, "He's done it properly this time." And she didn't have to go any further on that. So 7 days later, the guy, he didn't mess around this time. He did it, and that was that. And I was young at the time, and it didn't, it affected me, but it didn't affect me, if you know what I mean. It didn't affect me then. It probably affected me more now than it did then. The older I get, the more I think about him and what gets you to, what can get a man to that point that he feels, that's the only way out. 3 children. All right, the problems had come. I think maybe his partner had asked him, his wife had asked him to leave, and maybe he couldn't see his life beyond where he was. But ultimately the guy's gone, and we'll never know why fully. I did a job just before Christmas. I say I work in people's homes every day. I did a job just before Christmas. It was an awful one. It was a man. I got a phone call about 11 o'clock. It was one of the neighbours, and she was begging me to come round and clean some carpets in a bedroom. I asked what the issue was. Why is it such a rush? Can it be done tomorrow or the next day? And then she told me that the woman's husband had come home from the gym, and he'd basically gone into his bedroom, slit his wrists, and tried to end it all. There was blood everywhere, so obviously we went round, we sorted that job for his wife, and we got it perfect. I've not heard an update on how that guy's. I know he's okay, I know he's come through it and stuff, but this was before Christmas. I don't know how he's doing from now. I'm just speaking off the cuff here. I've no script, like I said, so forgive me if I'm a little bit all over the place. But I remember years ago seeing my granddad sort of go downhill. My granddad was like my idol growing up. I spent a lot of time with my nan and granddad. My granddad was, he was cool, he was calm, he was collected, he was nothing much fazed him, and then to see my granddad when he retired just go like off a massive cliff, and go quiet. I mean, he always was quiet, but it was a different sort of quiet. It was like he'd give up, and my nan is different, but there was tragedy in our family. My nan's daughter, my mum's sister, my auntie, she was killed by a boyfriend at, I think she was around 20, and with my nan, it was very visible the effects that had on her. It was clear to see. She never worked a day in her life after that. Antidepressants, doctors all the time. It did something to her that she could never recover from. Whereas my granddad, sorry, yeah, sorry guys, I was just stopped there then. I was talking to a lady for about 20 minutes. She was a lovely lady. Yeah, I was on about Emma, by the way, because she said she's going to subscribe. So Emma, thank you for saying the prayer for me. Really appreciate it. God bless you, my love. And yeah, I'll probably speak to you soon, or catch you on another walk again. And I'll send you the channel link over where you can subscribe. So thanks, Emma. Nice to meet you, love. Yeah, I was on about my granddad, wasn't I? About when it happened, he was no different. It's just doing the same things. I think he went a little bit more in himself, but it wasn't a massive change. And that was, I think maybe my granddad was in his, I don't know, 50s at that time. And then when it gets to retirement age, you know, my nan had basically struggled for 20 years with it. She never worked. She was under the doctor, and you know, just constantly trying to find ways of deal with it. And then when my granddad retired, he just went off a cliff. We were all really worried about him. He clearly, you know, had gone quiet, not eating, and just, you know, something was drastically wrong. Then all of a sudden, out of the blue, my mum, who was 40 at the time, has a son. And you know, stepdad was busy doing things. My mum worked, he worked. You know, we needed somebody to take him to school, pick him up from school, you know, and look after him at weekends. And that job fell to my granddad. And as soon as he got that, you know, we need you, you know, we really need you, when they did, that was it. He stepped back up, and you know, for many years then it was like, yeah, my granddad's back, you know. He was he had a purpose again. And you know, bless him. My nan passed away, and then my granddad lasted 8 months after that. The man gave up. He gave up. He tried his best, bless him, to carry on his own, and he was really trying. But you know, if he'd have maybe spoke about this when it happened and things like that, could his life have gone a little bit differently? I don't know. I'm chatting a lot of rubbish here. I don't know if I've come off subject or what, but you know, I'm going on about how men are struggling. You know, what is it? What's happening? 4 times more likely men to commit suicide. Yeah, I want to talk about some of the struggles I had in my mid-20s, when I feel like that's when I sort of suffered from depression. I'd separated from my partner, and couldn't get my head together. But thinking about it now, when I was with that partner, I was doing things I didn't really want to do, you know. I was like doing things to keep her happy. So I lived a bit of a lie for sort of 12 months, you know, because, you know, pretty girl, you know, I'll just, you know, she's into this, I'll do that, you know, keep hold of a pretty girl type thing. And I ended up not myself, you know. So she ended up getting a version of me that wasn't me, which I wasn't unhappy when I was with her, to be honest. I just felt like, you know, I'll go along with it. And then that day where it was like, yeah, this ain't working, I'm moving on. And that was it. Ed had gone, like gone. I've never been able, you know, not sleeping, going to bed crying, waking up crying, you know, and thinking, what the hell is happening to me? What is going on? And I couldn't get over it. And the only person I ever used to go and talk to, you know, and lay the feelings down, you know, and be willing to sort of cry in front of and stuff like that, was my nan. She was the only person ever in my life that I went to and unloaded. You know, and she'd listen, and 9 times out of 10 she'd just listen, and you know, I'm around you, and that was enough, you know. You know, I ended up getting through that, you know, time. I ended up on depressants and all sorts, and 2-3 months after, I started to build my life back, you know, came off the antidepressants, started playing football again, training, and you know, I got through it. And I'll talk about the next time I struggle on another video, because that came after my son was born, and I want to save that for another video, because that's a video in itself. But in my 20s, I remember going through that and think that was like the worst part of my 20s. And when my mum had me, she was very young, she was 17, so it was, our family were very close, so I spent a lot of time with my nan. So my nan was almost like my mum back then. Hey, listen, mum was round the corner from me, she'll cook for me every day, she'd do anything for me. I'm not digging my mum out. It's just that's how it was. I remember mum used to say, you should have been your nan's, because the first place I used to go running when anything ever went wrong was to my nan. It just was, it's the way it was. And since my nan has passed away, I don't have anybody now to talk to about that. I don't feel like I need to, if I'm honest. I've not hit a place where I feel like I've got to go speak to somebody. But there's something in you, isn't there, as a man that just doesn't want to do it. What is it? Is it ego? Is it stubbornness? Is it macho-ness? Why aren't us men helping each other? Why aren't we speaking to each other? What's in the way? What's stopping it? Because I want to know. If you know, and there's stuff and there's studies, hey, go and look into that. Please put in the comments and let's look why things are happening. You think you watch TV, everything is doom, it's gloom. Men, another little thing I looked at was men are like 50-60% more likely to die doing their job than a woman, because our jobs tend to be a little bit more dangerous. Men are naturally more risk-taking and things like that. I don't know how true. I saw the stats. It does seem to add up. So, it probably is the case. I keep losing my train of thought. I keep having to stop the video because I'm coming across people, and I've just been walking on the canal. You see how much further up I am now. I'm not near the canal now. There was like two women walking down. There's two young kids, but they're about 11, 12, maybe even a little bit younger, and they're throwing, skimming stones across the ice and stuff like that. And these two women are like, oh, you can kill the wildlife, you shouldn't be doing this, you shouldn't be doing that. I'm like, give them a break, you know what I mean? There's two kids in the middle of nowhere doing no harm, throwing stones along an icy canal. It's like, leave the lads alone. And then these two women are wondering why the lads are like, well, fuck off, do one, I just pulled them to one side, and it was like, lads, come on, use your heads. You get two plonkers like that coming along, nod your head, bite your lip, turn round, carry on doing what you're doing. They both were like, thank you, mister, really, we've all been that age, haven't we? Listen, I've got about, I must have done at the minute about a good 5 mile, and I've probably got another 2 to go, so it's a 7 mile walk today, and I'm knackered. I've took a little bit of a step forward, still got my e-cigs, just run out of battery, so that's pissed me off a bit, but I have got myself out there. I've not been to the gym. I ate a lot better. I've ate a lot better today. I've done a long walk, so I'm step by step, I'm getting a little bit better, but I'm going to finish the video off. I feel like the video's been a bit all over the place, but again, I'm sorry guys, I don't script it. I'll get a bit better at it, of it flowing and stuff like that. I've got loads more ideas for videos, things to talk about, so I'm going to be doing that. I'm going to post at least once a day, so thank you for the guys that have watched my previous 2 videos. I think I'm up at like nearly 100 subscribers already in 2 days, so really thank you for that. The first video I did is up around 1,000 views, so I'm gobsmacked, to be honest. Thank you for all the interaction. What I will say is, in the video description here, I'm going to put a link to a video that I watched that one of the subscribers sent me yesterday. It was about a woman who went and lived as a man for 2 years in disguise, and what happened during that 2 years. What I would say is, go and watch the video and see her experience, what she had living as a man and the things she was saying. I really encourage you to watch it. I'm going to put the link right in the description at the top. Click it, watch it, and put in the comments, tell me what you thought about that video, and did you agree with it, did you not agree with it? So I just want to say again, thank you for watching. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I'll catch you tomorrow on the next one, guys. God bless you, take care.